welcome back to Daydreams of Quilts on YouTube. I'm Anita, your host at Daydreams of Quilts, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this scrappy quilt block to use up some scraps in your stash, because I don't know about you guys, but I am getting overwhelmed with scraps here, and it's really time to use some of them up. So I'll give you a little scary shot of what the scrap situation is around here, and then we'll get started. Okay, so to make this block, you're going to need your scraps, and you're going to cut them into widths of 1 inch to 3 inches and 5 inches long. And then you're going to need 4.5 inch squares, and we're going to cut these on the diagonal to make the triangles on either side. So per 12-inch block you need 4.5 inch squares of background fabric. And I learned how to make this block from a blog tutorial, so I will link to that in the description below if you would like to see written instructions as well. And let's get started sewing our strips together. All right, so once you have all your strips cut, we're just going to start randomly sewing them together with a 1/4 inch seam. Until we have a long enough piece to make 1/4 segment of our block. The 1/4 segments are 6.5 inches square. So we'll get these all put together, and then we'll take them over to the ironing board and press all of our seams. We'll press all the seams in one direction, so I'll just keep going with that. Okay, so here is my strip, and it is about 10 inches long, maybe. It doesn't have to be exact. And then I have my squares here. So I'm going to cut these on the diagonal. Okay, so I just need 2 of these triangles right now. And then you can see here on my ruler, what you would be ideal would be a 6.5 inch ruler, but I don't have a 6.5 inch ruler. I have a 9.5 inch ruler. So I've just marked the 6.5 inch lines off here with tape. And then from the center diagonal line, you want to mark 2 inches. So just put that diagonal line on your mat and count over 2 inches and put a piece of tape, and 2 inches the other way and put a piece of tape. And this is so that we can, when we trim our square, we will have it perfectly centered in the middle of our block. Okay, and so then what you're going to do with your strip is trim off a little, tiny little bit off one side, like maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, just to even it up. And then you're going to trim it to 4.5 inches wide. And then you're going to find the center of the strip. Just do a little finger press. And the center of your long edge of your triangle. And you're just going to line those 2 center marks up. And then we're just going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on each side to attach these triangles. So I'll go sew that and I'll press the seams towards the triangles. Okay, so here it is. I've just sewn a 1/4 inch seam and then pressed the triangles out. So now I'm going to line up my ruler here, and we need to just trim this to 6.5 inches. And I just want to make sure that this center strip is between those 2 pieces of tape. And then just flip it around and trim the other sides. So I'll just line up with this tape here. Unless you have a 6.5 inch ruler, then you just line up with the edge of your ruler. Okay, so there is 1/4 of our block. So you just need to make 4 of those, and then you just lay them out like an X shape and just turn them. And then you're just gonna sew these 2 center seams and press them in opposite directions, and then sew down the middle and press it, and your block is done. So you can use up your scraps and make a beautiful rainbow scrap quilt. Thank you for sewing along with me today. I hope you had fun making this scrappy quilt block. I can't wait to see your beautiful rainbow scrap quilts. Tag me on Instagram at Daydreams of Quilts so I can see them. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos from Daydreams of Quilts. Happy quilting!